this whole idea of art for art's sake is a foreign concept to how indigenous people lived, right? You carve out a comb and you put symbols on it, not because you want it hanging in a museum for people to ooh and ah, but because it's an expression of who you are, even though there is a very practical function of that comb. This
Mm,
is just what we did, our homes and making designs on our homes and things of that nature. So I think art was always a part of who we are, a part of who I think all human beings are. And the
correctly.
extent to which we compartmentalize ourselves, or we now decide, oh, I'm not artistic, we actually stunt aspects of ourselves. So Abbey Lincoln would definitely say, in terms of art, that she saw her art as a tool of revolution. Whether it was her singing, whether it was her composing, whether it was her writing poetry, her art was life. And after her breakup
Max Roach?
with Max Roach, and she retreated, she really embraced her art. She started painting and things of that nature. But art is also healing, right? So now you
Mm,
find in certain medical facilities where they will have music therapy, they will have art therapy. Julia de Burgos would definitely say that her art was an expression of her life, expression of her strength,
poetry.
was her way, yes, her poetry. It was her way of questioning life and engaging with everything that life threw at her. She had multiple relationships and she was fighting for the rights of people, but she was also fighting her own internal demons and alcoholism and so on and so forth, and not fitting in the way society would have wanted her to, because she could have stayed back home and married the right man who they had identified for her, and lived that soft life, which is something I hear a lot now, people wanting to live the soft life. And I think Julia de Burgos would say, to hell with the soft life. My art is my form of living out loud,
Mm,
right? Micere Mugo would probably say art is how people remember who they are.
mm.
Art is how a people remember who they are. Think about it. Our music, our movement, our carvings, even the art of cooking. All of these things are an expression of who we are, right?
Yeah, true.
That creativity is not just about decoration, but it is about strategy, it's about memory, and it's definitely about survival. And we could go on with so many of them, because so many of these women were, actually all of these women were multifaceted, we know. And of course lived across times, but it's how they express themselves, even in how they dressed, right? They all had very different ways that they presented themselves. Without trying to break my budget in recreating how they look, these women all had a sense of style, of who they were and how they showed up in the world. That in and of itself is artistic as well.